October, we are going to have more than 2,000 delegations from Kenya and abroad. And the participation is going to be high level. His Excellency the President has agreed to be the chief guest. We are going to have a conversation about Siaya and by extension Kenya as an economic region and the Lake Region economic bloc. This conversation is going to turn into real investments in Siaya, where we are going to showcase potentials of nearly $3 billion projects which are bankable, and you're free to come to the conference and be able to be part of this great conversation. Welcome to Siaya, and see you on the 14th, 15th, 16th, and 17th of October. Warwaku Siaya, Siaya Kababa.
MP's driver George Odwora charged with dangerous driving after viral video caught had he has endangered lives plus strikes on the cabinet. We focus on Najib Balala. This and more in the next 1 hour, but first, the highlights. Looking to be a soldier, KDF launches 2025 nationwide recruitment with government promising nothing short of a credible exercise. Mombasa boat tragedy. 3 bodies of victims of the Indian Ocean boat race accident recovered along Mombasa's Chuda Creek. Answering Gachagua, business at standstill in Kutus as Kirinyaga moves against former DP's verbal attack on their governor.
Tuamini na tuamini taifa letu. Tunaweza kuibadilisha hii taifa tukiweko.
Plus, breaking the jinx. President Ruto says he will move Kenya up from the developing countries category after years of stagnation. Warm welcome to the broadcast. Our socials at KBC Channel 1 on X, Facebook and YouTube. Our sign language expert tonight is Lensa Odingo. I am Muchuma Odim. My colleague Tomboya is away this evening. On to our lead story. Cabinet Secretary for Health Eden Duale has admitted that there were deaths of children occasioned by the doctor strike in Kiambu County and urged the county government to address the concerns of the striking doctors. And even as Governor Kimani Wamatangi attributes the health crisis to his political detractors, the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Union, KMPDU, is threatening to escalate the plight of their members in Kiambu to a nationwide strike. Kamche Menza begins our coverage tonight with this report.
Outside the county government headquarters in Kiambu, peaceful demonstrations by doctors who were joined by activists under Bungoma section of residents in solidarity. Security personnel looked on as the demonstrators laid caskets on the ground, perhaps as a show of the pain of losing babies in the wake of the doctors' strike. They later staged another protest outside Kiambu County Referral Hospital. Here, gates remained closed as other health workers and security personnel too looked on.
Mama mzee kabisa ameng'ang'ania mtoto miaka mingi. Then huyo mtoto anakufa juu hakuna madaktari. Why? Hakuna madaktari. I feel that pain.
Kenya Medical Pharmacist and Dentist Union Secretary General Davji Atela, who led the demonstrations, accused Governor Kimani Wamatangi of ignoring them at the expense of the members of the public suffering.
It is not normal that a country will be silent when people are dying. Tomorrow we'll be in the courts with Kiambu County. We'll demonstrate why it is them who are on strike.
We would have wanted just the health to separate it, but then now that the governor himself is not responsive, it means that we cannot continue holding him in a position when he cannot make a decision.
KMPDU is also threatening to mobilize its members to go on a nationwide strike, with the notice expected to be issued on 25th of October 2025.
When we were faced with inaction and a very loud silence by the county government of Kiambu, we had no other option other than to resort to the employers of the leaders of Kiambu, and that is the people. So today, our demonstration here today is in unison with the people of Kiambu, who are actually the masterminds of this particular march that we had.
This as the members of the Kiambu County Assembly accused a section of members of parliament from the region of fueling the strike to tarnish the county's image.
Ni mambo ambayo imepangwa tangu jana na wabunge ambao kwa siku ya leo tutawataja majina, lakini walikuwa watatu. Wajue kwamba ile pesa walipeana 1750, tunajua hata hoteli yenye walipeania, tunajua mwenye walituma kupeana hiyo pesa.
Hayo ni maneno ya propaganda. Wale wamama ambao walikuwa katika hilo hospitali yetu ya Thika ni wamama ambao wamejifungua. Na hili ni jambo la kuhuzunisha, because hii maneno ni kitu tunaweza enda na tuhakikishe tuko na records.
But while Governor Kimani Wamatangi continues to hold that the strike is politically instigated, Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale children registered during the strike.
Leadership is what is required. So if you can solve your leadership, and the maternal mortality rate in that county is very high, we have evidence. So when you are a leader, don't live in denial.
Duale indicated that the ministry has addressed the doctors' concerns and the current impasse can only be resolved by county government.
And the unions are not part of the MOH. You know, I saw a governor saying that we have gone to bed with the union. We have solved our problem with the union. Solve your problem with the union.
The doctors' strike in Kiambu County is in its 138th day, and KMPDU has vowed to launch a signature collection petition President William Ruto and Parliament to initiate dissolution of the county. Kamche Menza for Prime Edition.
From the doctors' strike to affordable housing, President William Ruto has reaffirmed his commitment to steering Kenya towards attaining first world status through transformative development initiatives. Speaking in Makueni County during the launch of strategic projects at the Konza Technopolis, the president said Kenya has remained in the developing country category for far too long. Hence, the determination of his administration to change that through unity and hard work, as reported by Doreen Arange.
President William Ruto was in Makueni County, where he launched a series of strategic infrastructure projects at the Konza Technopolis, marking a new phase in his administration's drive to transform Kenya into a globally competitive economy. He said the government will soon establish a national infrastructure fund to raise resources for massive development projects aimed at propelling Kenya to first world status in 30 years' time.
Our budget, building resources from our private, putting together resources from our privatization, we will be a big pool of resources that we can use in an innovative manner, like all other countries have done, if under a national infrastructure fund. And we will be taking to Parliament the law to establish infrastructure fund.
The fund, he said, will support critical sectors such as energy, food security, transport and manufacturing. While lauding the success of the affordable housing program, the president termed those opposing it as lacking vision.
Unajua, nilikuwa nafikiria ati watasema huyu Ruto amepanga kujenga nyumba 1,200 kila mwaka. Sisi tutakuja kuongeza badala ya 1,200 wakuja waongeze ikuwe 1,300. Lakini wanasema ati ile 1,200 imetengenezwa watakuja kuvunja. Ili kubadilisha Kenya hii, lazima tuwe na mpango, lazima tuwe na program kama hii. This is how we are going to change Kenya.
He further praised the broad-based government as a vehicle for unity, inclusivity and sustainable development.
Nimetengeneza serikali ya broad-based, ya kuleta kila mtu akae hapa ndani, tupange mambo ya Kenya pamoja. Ama namna gani? Hii kuvutana, chuki, ukabila, watu kutengana inatuletea hasara.
Doreen Arange for Prime Edition.
Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba has hinted that the ongoing public university workers' strike could end soon following a meeting between the University Academic Staff Union, WASU, Kenyatta University Staff Union, KUSU, and the Salaries Remuneration Commission, SRC. According to Ogamba, representatives of the two unions met over the weekend to discuss their grievances before the forum with the commission. The university workers downed tools on Wednesday, September 17, 2025, demanding 7.9 billion shillings in salary arrears. Ogamba spoke in Nandi County, where he graced the swearing-in of members of Koitalel University Council of Mosoriot campus.
We are just here to support the council, and we take seriously matters of governance in our institutions. And where institutions such as Koitalel are being run well, we want to encourage them to continue doing that so that they do not land into any sort of financial problems.
On to a story we highlighted for you at the beginning of the broadcast. 3 bodies from the ill-fated Mombasa racing boats have been recovered at the Indian Ocean along the Chuda Creek. The tragic incident occurred when the racing boat carrying 22 participants overturned, prompting a massive rescue operation that saved 19 lives.
According to authorities, the 3 bodies were recovered during a coordinated multi-agency operation led by the Kenya Navy.
2 of the bodies were recovered farther away. One of them had already been drifted by the currents all the way till near the Nyali Bridge, and another very near a certain establishment.
Following the tragedy, the county government of Mombasa unveiled a comprehensive set of new maritime safety measures aimed at preventing future marine accidents. Area Governor Abdul Samad Nasir said focus now shifts to putting in place standards and policy to guide maritime operations in the Indian Ocean.
We have confirmation from the national government and the county government that we will be able to assist in the burial expenses for these bodies. Thereafter, the disaster team has also recommended that a full inquiry be done.
The governor further announcing psychological counseling and trauma support to survivors and bereaved families. He also announced that a full inquiry into the incident will be conducted jointly by the Kenya Coast Guard Service and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations.
To give a full report, a report that shall be comprehensive and shared to everyone, including the media as well.
Henceforth, all hotels and establishments along the coastal line will be required to obtain clearance from the county security and disaster management teams before hosting any large-scale events near or on the water. Reporting for KBC, I'm Alvin Kaunda.
Let's now shift to health matters in a report compiled by Kasichana Masha. The Ministry of Health has recorded progress in the fight against tuberculosis, registering a 41% reduction in TB incidence rate and a 65% drop in TB mortality since 2015. Attributing the success to improved diagnostics, Health Cabinet Secretary Eden Duale emphasized the need for more diagnostic services of TB and lung diseases. In 2024, the country recorded over 96,000 drug-sensitive TB cases alongside 750 drug-resistant TB cases. Duale spoke while flagging off 80 ultra-portable AI-powered digital X-ray systems and launching integrated lung health guidelines in Nairobi.
According to the Ministry of Health, tuberculosis is one of the leading infectious diseases with an estimated burden of 133,000 new cases and 17,000 mortalities reported annually.
Although the country ranks among the top 30 with high TB and TB HIV burden globally, and in Africa, Kenya actually ranks 4th.
Nearly 40% of the TB cases go undiagnosed or unreported, underscoring the urgency for innovative diagnostic approaches like this one.
But the threat doesn't end there. Asthma and other related diseases and post-TB complications are silently devastating lives among our community members.
However, in 2024, reported drug-sensitive TB cases dropped to 96,865, while 750 drug-resistant TB cases were documented. This, the ministry says, is a testament to Kenya's progress in fighting TB after achieving a 41% reduction in TB incidences and a 65% drop in TB mortality since 2015.
However, we note from the national data that there has been 41% reduction in TB incidence, as well as 66% drop in TB deaths since 2015.
These gains reflect strategic investment in early detections, evidence-based treatment plans, and HIV-TB integration.
This has surpassed the 2022 World Health Organization NTB target of a 20% reduction of the incidence rate and a 35% reduction in the mortality rate. To boost these gains, the ministry flagged off 80 AI-enabled digital X-ray machines to enhance early detection, diagnosis, and early treatment of TB and lung diseases.
The 80 AI-enabled digital X-ray machines we are flagging off today will bring diagnostic closer to the grassroots, enabling TB detections, even in a very symptomatic cases, and supporting diagnosis of other lung diseases.
To those people who, when you do a diagnosis for TB and they don't have TB, but they have problems with their lungs that you have seen, and and the flow meters that you've just seen, the demonstration, that's what we are bringing to the table to expand the scope for lung disease beyond TB.
The ministry also launched integrated lung disease guidelines, among them prevention and health promotion, early detection and diagnosis, standardized clinical management, continuum of care across levels, integration with existing programs, and health system strengthening. The machines, procured through a partnership with health stakeholders at a cost of over 1 billion shillings, will be disbursed across the 47 counties and ensure TB diagnosis reaches far-flung areas. Kasichana Masha, Prime.
In other developments, the government is speeding up completion of projects across the country to ensure faster growth of the nation's economy and better livelihoods. Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki, while speaking in Siaya County, said there is no room for delays in delivering the projects, asking contractors to accelerate completion. The Deputy President also called out opposition leaders for playing cheap politics with the cult of Orange Democratic Movement Party leader Raila Odinga. Here is that report.
Speaking in Alego Usonga, Siaya County during resource mobilization for border circles in the county, Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki said every part of the country will be developed in spite of political, regional or religious affiliations.
Ile combination ya Raila Odinga na Mheshimiwa William Ruto wataweza? Ni fire si fire. Ni fire si fire. Ni noma si noma. Wacha nione salamu ya broad base.
The Deputy President also assured Kenyans that former Prime Minister Raila Odinga was doing well.
Mheshimiwa Prime Minister Raila Odinga is safe and healthy. I have spoken to him. And those who are wishing him ill are not good people, because it is against the African tradition to wish anybody ill, even your worst enemy.
Professor Kindiki lauded Siaya County Governor James Orengo for working with the broad-based government to ensure faster development of the region.
Siaya County alone, we have completed building and handing over the Luanda Kotieno fish landing site, 134 million shillings. It is complete. Hiyo imekamilika na imeanza kufanya kazi. Ni kweli si kweli?
Siaya County is one of the biggest beneficiaries of the broad-based arrangement, having received multiple projects worth billions of shillings that have boosted incomes for locals. Together with other counties along Lake Victoria, they have benefited from at least 9 fishing landing sites worth 3.1 billion shillings.
Kama kuna mtu hajui ya kwamba Orengo anajua kufanya kazi na serikali, ukieleza ile maendeleo inaendelea Siaya, ndio utakuja kujua kama Orengo anajua ama hajui.
Later, the Deputy President North Empowerment event where he challenged contractors to pull up their socks, saying it is unacceptable to frustrate completion of key projects that are key to the realization of administration's development agenda.
Agenda yetu ni umoja wa taifa. Agenda yetu mabarabara zaidi. Agenda yetu stima kwa kila mwananchi. Agenda yetu tujenge masoko, wanabiashara wadogo wapate mahali pazuri fanya biashara.
He said Nakuru County has benefited from 80 billion shillings worth of projects covering affordable houses, institutional hostels and modern markets, urging for quicker delivery. Gishuki Washira, Prime Edition.
From Siaya, we are taking our first commercial break. When we return, we'll be telling you EACC recovery of land in Bungoma County, land that is worth 35 million shillings. Also, the latest in the world of business and sports. Stay with us.
Are you expecting anything from me?
All I want is unity. Same as jazz.
Skiza Kamau, mimi ni mtoto wa Njuguna, sawa? Which makes everything around here mine.
Do I look jobless to you?
Yes, clearly.
Some of us are productive.
Chris is playing games.
Dad.
Yes?
I'm not understanding anything that you're talking about.
Tulidhani mlisikizana na hata kampuni ikawa ndio handshake ama.
It haunt you, knowing that every wrong decision she's making now is because of you.
Oh, you're trying to make me feel guilty.
We are discussing about a dream that is held deeply in every woman's heart, owning a home.
So for me, owning a home is the journey to creating wealth, because then it becomes a source of income.
Our biggest expense, or something that bothers many people, is rent. So when I think about home ownership, it's about peace of mind.
Type out Boma Yangu, a citizen will open up Boma Yangu and ask you, do you want to register or not?
And give you all the information.
And give you all the information. In fact, they even have frequently asked questions on their website.
Start small, start now. We have packages from whichever income level that you are in. Don't procrastinate.
Welcome back to Prime Edition, our socials at KBC Channel 1 on X, Facebook and YouTube. Onto the corridors of justice. A driver attached to a sitting member of parliament has been charged with dangerous driving by a magistrate court. In a video that went viral on social media platforms, the court heard that the accused, George Odur, endangered lives through reckless overtaking along Oloitoktok Road in Nairobi County. Odur was fined 100,000 shillings or served a year in jail after pleading guilty to the offense. Details in the Scales of Justice segments.
Appearing before trial magistrate Rose Ndombi, George Odur, the driver of Kibera Member of Parliament Peter Orero, admitted to dangerously overtaking other vehicles along Oloitoktok Road. The prosecution described the incident as a deliberate act that risks the safety of other motorists, urging the court to issue a strong penalty.
A fine of Kenya shillings 100,000. Therefore, I will award that as being the maximum fine under that particular section. You will pay a fine of 100,000 in default to serve 12 months imprisonment. You have 14 days right of appeal if dissatisfied with the order of this court.
In a separate case, a woman accused of stealing over 92 million shillings from her employer has been released on a hefty bond as she awaits pre-trial later this month. Naomi Mweni Mutula, an employee of Vijay Vora Cable Connect Limited Company, was charged with stealing by virtue of her employment. Principal Magistrate Paul Mutai granted her a bond of 10 million shillings with the pre-trial set for October 28, 2025.
You may be released on a surety bond of Kenya shillings 10 million with the alternative cash bail of 5 million. The case will be mentioned on the 28th of this month for pre-trials.
Letua Debra for Prime Edition.
The Ministry of Defense is working with various state agencies to ensure a fair, transparent and credible recruitment into the Army this year. Giving the assurance, Defense Cabinet Secretary Soipan Tuya further distanced the KDF from being complicit in previous cases of corruption and fraud in recent recruitment exercises, adding that all reported cases have been investigated and prosecuted in accordance with the law. The exercise launched today will run up to the 25th of October this year.
In a bid to replenish ranks, expand units and integrate specialized capabilities into the KDF ranks and file, the force has launched the 2025 nationwide recruitment exercise. Acknowledging previous challenges of fraud and exploitation that have marred previous recruitment exercises, Defense Cabinet Secretary Soipan Tuya says investigations have been done and those found in contravention of the law have been prosecuted accordingly.
Notably, past investigations have revealed that most of the reported cases did not involve members of the Kenya Defence Forces, but were perpetrated by individuals passing off as KDF leaders or members. It is unfortunate that innocent civilians have been duped, and most of them, many Kenyans, have lost money to such individuals.
This even as she called on candidates willing to be recruited into the force to show up and present valid documentation at the recruitment centers to stand a chance to serve the country.
We are working very closely with other government agencies, namely the National Police Service, the DCI, the ESCC, as well as the NIS, to ensure a fair, transparent, and credible process. This collaborative approach reinforces accountability and ensures the highest standards of integrity.
The Vice Chief of Defense Forces, Lieutenant General John Omenda, said any recruitment done before the official recruitment exercise dates is illegal.
Point to note, this exercise is starting officially today and it will end on 25th of October. Our time frames are very strict and we do this exercise in the fairest manner and in open. And we urge all Kenyans to attend free of charge.
Let's now shift to the EACC matters. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, has recovered a prime parcel of land worth 35 million shillings in Bungoma County. The prime plot belonging to the Ministry of State Department for Housing and Urban Development and located next to the Bungoma State Lodge at Milimani area in Bungoma town had been grabbed by a private individual. Achola Simon reports.
In a brazen move, the private developer had illegally acquired the prime piece of land and subsequently demolished a government house that stood on the land and constructed a multi-million shilling luxury mansionette. In a judgment delivered by Bungoma Environment and Land Court on Thursday, October 9th, 2025, Justice Enoch Cherono declared that all transactions leading to the acquisition of the land by one Judy Nekoe were fraudulent, illegal, null and void. The court also issued orders for her eviction from the property.
This court finds that the plaintiff's reliance on subsequent letters and acceptance of payments cannot cure the illegality created by the cancellation of the sale. The cancellation circular of 28th of July 2008 remained the operative instrument, and unless and until it was expressly withdrawn or replaced by another circular of the same or higher authority, the purported sale and validation process remained legally ineffective.
Justice Cherono nullified the certificate of lease and directed the Bungoma Land Register to rectify the land register by cancelling all illegal entries relating to the grabbers. During the proceedings, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, through Advocate Ruth Ayunga, informed the court that investigations established that property was among properties reserved by the government in 1961 for the construction of residential houses for senior public officers. In 2004, the property was irregularly and illegally allocated to Charles Nyasani and Scholastica Nyekerario, who later transferred it to Judy Nekoe in 2016. Nekoe then petitioned the court seeking to be declared the owner of the land, a move EACC opposed upon hearing the case. Justice Enoch Cherono ruled in favor of EACC.
An order of eviction is hereby issued directing the plaintiff, e-servants, agents, or assigned to vacate Bungoma Township 169. G. The cost of the plaintiff's suit and the counterclaim are awarded to the defendant. It is so ordered.
EACC is pursuing 16 additional prime public properties believed to have been grabbed within Bungoma town for recovery and return to the public. Achola Simon, Kisumu County.
Let's now take you to the counties. Residents of Migori County are concerned over the slow pace of voter registration, citing long distances to IEBC offices and lack of transport. They are urging the Commission to take registration services closer to the people and intensify civic education, especially for first-time voters. This and other stories in the County News Roundup.
Residents of Migori County have urged the electoral body to take services closer to the people and intensify civic education for first-time voters to enhance voter registration process.
Tuko na aibu kubwa sana tangu IBC watoke kuregister watu kuanzia viongozi wetu MCA hadi gavana. Tunaomba watoke nje wasaidie wananchi, tena walete kitu ambacho inaitwa civic education every ward.
On politics, residents of Governor Anne Waiguru against political criticism, terming her a development-focused leader.
Tukiangalia kama kutu kumewekwa kapro, tukiangalia kwa masoko inajengwa, tuseme pande ya Kenyaga, tunaona maendeleo ya Waiguru.
In Busia, Presidential Administrative Secretary Arthur Osia and MCA Patrick Omanyala have urged residents to reject corrupt leaders in the 2027 polls, terming graft as a hindrance to development.
All of us are very disappointed. Kuanzia hapa
mpaka Nairobi, wale wasomi, wafanyabiashara, wale yote tulishika Paul mkono. Tumekasirika sana, na si kwa sababu hajalipa contract, si kwa sababu hajalipa kazi, kwa sababu ameangusha wananchi ya kaunti ya Busia.
Watu wenye wanawekea Busia mtego na wanakula shilingi 5,500 yotuoma na kukuja kujiapisha hapa hivi, na tunasema tusaidie watu wetu.
On health, Kiambu County health experts are urging men to take advantage of the free breast cancer screening being offered at Kenyatta University Teaching, Referral and Research Hospital this month, warning that stigma and late diagnosis are costing lives.
One of the things that is being emphasized today in this symposium and will be emphasized across all activities during the month is early screening and diagnosis. Most of our patients die because they come late. They come late and they cannot be able to benefit even from the innovative treatments that are available.
In Kilifi, environmentalists are urging investors to support beach conservation efforts so as to attract tourists.
Watu wengi wanakuja sana kwa utalii, hasa kule kwa dunes, na tukaamua tuweke hii bahari iwe clean, ndio watu wageni wakitoka Nairobi, wakitoka kule waje wakute bahari iko sawa. Kwa hivyo tukajitolea na mama, tukaamua tu collect hizi takataka hapa baharini.
Finally, a retired General Service Unit officer Moses Epolot has started a 430-kilometer walk from Nairobi to Busia to raise 10 million shillings for the construction of Katakwa Anglican Diocese.
At this point in time, I'm addressing all the people that I've met in my life to join hands with me so that we can do a full completion of this sanctuary.
Ian Zive for KBC Channel 1, Nairobi.
Let's now touch on one of your favorite segments. Najib Balala's journey from Mombasa's vibrant coast to the heart of Kenya's cabinet is a story of vision, endurance, and reform. A former mayor who rose to shape the nation's tourism and wildlife agenda, Balala redefined how Kenya markets its natural beauty to the world. Tonight, Jackie Wambiru puts a spotlight on the man whose leadership shaped the tourism industry. Take a look.
At the United States International University, where he studied a Bachelor of Arts degree in International Relations. He later moved to the University of Toronto in Canada, where he studied International Urban Management and later Business Administration at the John F. Kennedy School of Government at Harvard. After college in the early 1990s, Balala worked in the tourism industry before he joined the family business that dealt in tea and coffee trade. While in the private sector, Balala held many key positions. They include Secretary of the Swahili Cultural Center from 1993 to 1996 and the Chairman of the Mombasa and Coast Tourist Association between 1996 and 1999. He also served as the Vice Chairman of the Kenya Tourism Board and Chairman of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry Mombasa chapter from 2000 to 2003. At 30 years old, he became the youngest mayor of Mombasa ever. He was also elected chairman of the Association of Local Government Authorities of Kenya. While his heart was always in tourism, Balala was forced to join national politics when he lost his mayoral position. In 2003, he was elected Member of Parliament for Mvita. He joined the cabinet aged 35 when President Mwai Kibaki named him Minister for Gender, Sports, Culture and Social Services. One of his contributions while in this docket was spearheading the Gender Commission's bill from January 2003 to June 2004 that helped mainstream women's issues in the country. Later, he was moved to the Ministry of National Heritage, where he served from June to November 2005. His most noticeable contribution from his time at this position was the development of what became the Antiquities and Monuments Act 2006. The Act gave the government control over the rich national heritage and opened the door for the European Union to finance the framework of the National Museums of Kenya Support Program that changed the face of the National Museums of Kenya as not only a custodian of national heritage, but an interactive ground for events and social gatherings. Under the terms of the national accord that brought together President Kibaki and Raila Odinga, the Prime Minister had a say on who would serve in the cabinet amongst members of his party. In March 2012, Balala was sacked from his cabinet job. In May 2012, Balala quit ODM and initially associated himself with the United Democratic Forum UDF party that had been formed by Mudavadi, who also quit ODM. At that time, he also hinted that he was ready to work with William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru Kenyatta was the then chairman of KANU. But in September 2012, Balala launched his own party, the Republican Congress Party of Kenya, on which he planned to contest the Mombasa Senate seat. He then joined hands with Kenyatta's the National Alliance, TNA, Ruto's United Republican Party, URP, and Gilo's NARC to form a loose working relationship. He was, however, prevailed upon to abandon elective politics and support the Kenyatta-Ruto ticket in the 2013 elections. In return, he was promised the post of Cabinet Secretary. True to promise, President Kenyatta appointed Balala Cabinet Secretary for Mining in May 2013. He is credited with delivering the mining bill in 2014. The bill provided the first institutional framework review of Kenya's mining sector since 1940. Balala was moved to tourism in 2015 and reappointed to tourism and wildlife after the 2017 general election. He oversaw the drafting and launch of both the National Tourism Blueprint 2030 and National Wildlife Strategy 2030. He was keen to improve and modernize Kenya's wildlife conservation sector before it was responsible for 70% of the tourism earnings. His longevity was also testament to the wisdom of the man who first gave the first-term MP a cabinet position which he retained for 18 years. Jackie Wambiru.
There's a lot of turbulence, but as from last year, there will be stability. And we are making sure that at least we'll be able to control, to make sure the Kenya gets the benefit from it. Kawi, ustawi, na ushujaa, na watakia heri sikukuu ya mashujaa kwa Wanakenya.
Thank you for staying with us. In business, the Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation has raised 4 billion shillings for expanding electricity connections in remote areas. Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation Chief Executive Officer Rose Mkalama says the national government has a 500 million shillings matching fund with each of county governments that enroll. Benson Rioba compiled these reports.
Kenya targets 100% electricity access by the year 2030. The national government has rolled out the 4.7 billion shillings phase 6 of the last mile electricity connectivity program, targeting 150,000 households. So far, 4 billion shillings has been mobilized from 22 county governments and a number of constituencies for funding the additional last mile connections in remote areas.
It started, we have been able to raise over 4 billion shillings, and we know that by the time we are finishing with the 41 counties, we'll have done more. We have also been able to work with almost 32 constituencies, urging all the constituencies and all the counties that have not joined this program to please join this program.
Energy Principal Secretary is telling up in rural areas to benefit from lower electricity.
We are talking about, and it is not only the issue of cost of power, but what we are working with the team manufacturing, appropriate use of time of use tariff so that they can be able to lower their cost of production. Time of use tariff is where we increase the consumption of power at night so that they can be able to lower the cost of using.
They were speaking during the launch of the Energy Week ahead of slated for Monday next week.
We have seen the transformation that electricity brings to our communities. Sprouting, our students are improving because they're having longer study hours. Our medical institutions can now work 24 hours.
I've seen about 1.3 million customers connected to the grid. And two, we have seen increased power demand due to growth in industries and due to last mile.
Benson Rioba reporting for Prime.
Let's now take you back to Siaya, but in the world of business. Siaya Governor James Orengo says his county is ready for the inaugural Siaya International Trade Investment Conference set to commence on Tuesday. The governor, while speaking exclusively to KBC, said the conference presents a great opportunity for investors to tap into the vast potential in different sectors in the county. Achola Simon reports.
With less than 12 hours before the inaugural Siaya International Trade Investment Conference kicks off, the governor has given an all-clear message to those attending the conference. Orengo said the conference presents an opportunity for investors, both local and international, to invest in the largely unexploited areas in the county.
All is ready, and we're expecting our chief guest, the President William Ruto, on Thursday, the 16th. So the plans are underway. And just to show how much enthusiasm there is about this conference, all the booths, the exhibition booths, they have been taken, all of them.
He revealed that to ensure sustainability, the county has aligned policies to make the county attractive to investors.
We are glad to report that through a report of the Anti-Corruption Commission, they said that Siaya is one of the 3 counties in Kenya where you are likely not be asked for a bribe in order to get services. That I think is a pointer towards the possibilities that we offer in Siaya.
Over 2,000 delegates are expected to grace the conference that has presented a war chest of about 200 billion Kenya shillings worth of potential investment areas. Achola Simon, Prime Edition, Siaya County.
Government's investment in artificial intelligence is crucial in maintaining sovereignty even as its adoption gains momentum globally. Deepfake detection techniques seek to tackle some of the challenges that have emerged with the advent of artificial intelligence. Here now is Betty Kiptum with the details from the Global Tech Exhibition GTEx in Dubai.
Africa's artificial intelligence market is projected to grow from $4.5 billion in 2025 to $16.5 billion by 2030.
Means that you will have a decline in the future for your response and your ability of learning. And now, I know there are more and more new birth babies. Think about it. When they are born, the world is full of AI devices. AI, ChatGPT, and then they even don't need to calculate the math problems. They don't need to memorize some philosophy issues. Then tell me, will they be smarter or they will be less smarter?
Deepfake fraud is likely to increase, with businesses and governments urged to invest in AI deepfake detection technologies to protect themselves. Players in the cyberspace say it is imperative that governments work with the private sector to build innovations and an enabling regulatory environment to ensure security in the cyberspace.
Spends budget on AI. AI is a sovereignty for every single nation. How our infrastructure is ready, how our talent is being groomed, how is our thinking, our strategies is being aligned, and how is our SMEs is being grown.
When the enterprises need more support financially and the policy support, government should take actions. And also, just like the AI deepfake, when the government needs to do something to protect the enterprise security, they have to do something.
Artificial intelligence, like any other technology, has brought in some advantages to people, from increasing efficiency to reducing turnaround time. On the flip side, cyber criminals are taking advantage of the same technology and building things such as deepfakes and defrauding people. As governments race to implement AI, they are also being urged to put money into cybersecurity to ensure that they protect their data and their people. Reporting from Dubai at GTEx Global, I'm Betty Kiptum.
From Dubai back home in the county of Bungoma, farmers and micro, small and medium enterprises in the Bungoma region and its environs are set to benefit from tailored agricultural financial products following the opening of a new Kingdom Bank branch. Bungoma, a key hub for trade and cross-border business, is a vibrant transit town with significant commercial activity bolstered by its proximity to the Malaba border points. Kingdom Bank Managing Director Anthony Mburu says the expansion is a major step in the bank's mission to deepen financial inclusion and empower small businesses across Kenya.
Our presence here positions us to walk alongside the retail market, farmers, entrepreneurs, and businesses, uniquely positioned through flexibility, affordability, and convenience, offering solutions that adapt to the needs of our customers.
Today marks a proud and meaningful moment in the Kingdom Bank journey. We are not just opening a new branch, we are extending our footprint into a county full of promise and opportunity.
It speaks to believe in the people of Bungoma, believe in our economy, and believe in the promise that this country holds. When a strong financial institution like Kingdom Bank chooses to invest here, it sends a powerful message that Bungoma is open for business, that our people are ready for growth.
For young Kenyan women, the brains behind Jasho Powering Your Hustle are set to represent Kenya at the upcoming continental finals of the prestigious Absa Bank Kenya Girl Code Women in Tech Hackathon. Team Avitria, comprising women aged between 21 and 26, have developed a solution that leverages artificial intelligence to deliver real-time, smart tracking of expenditures, personalized financial coaching, and robust fraud prevention. The solution features accessibility options such as facial recognition and voice commands. The four were the top winners at this year's Girl Code Hackathon that attracted 112 participants.
Part of our partnership between Absa Kenya Foundation and ALX will give the top 3 groups an incubation opportunity where they get incubated at ALX, and they have got the tools, they're given the tools, the spaces, the kind of mentorship that they need to continue advancing and growing, to understand better and get into the finer details of how you then move from just an idea to a solution. How do you build it to a business? How do you scale it? How do you pitch to bigger businesses? And
this world is seeking people who are solving problems. It is full of social problems. There is something that you can contribute within your environment, within your neighborhood.
It doesn't make sense that we don't have more women that are creating the technology that we use every day, and that's what the hackathon is about, showcasing their skills and being innovative and building real solutions to real problems that we experience in our community.
I was here last year, but I didn't win. That gave me the courage to come this year with an aim of the sky is always the limit.
One of the things we know is that 2 things fade in life, and that is energy, and the second one is time.
So I think what we should be looking at beyond time management is asking ourselves, are we clear and managing the focus?
The fact that it is your free time, still you don't waste it.
Yes. Don't prioritize your schedule. Yeah? Schedule your priorities.
Lea Premium Flour, nurturing the world. Available in a store near you.
1 point separates the top 2.
Michuano ya kufuzu kwa kombe la dunia mwakani 2026 yanafikia tamati mwezi huu wa Oktoba. Je, vijana wa Cote d'Ivoire watawezana na Harambee Stars? Usingoje kuambiwa. Tazama mechi hii live hapa KBC Channel 1 siku ya Jumanne tarehe 14 Oktoba kuanzia saa 4 usiku. ujue mbivu na mbichi.
And there is the first goal of the game. Côte d'Ivoire go.
Pia tutapeperusha matangazo haya kupitia Radio Taifa na stesheni zingine za KBC. Usikose KBC Channel 1, mwenzio wa 30 michezoni.
Thank you for staying with us. It is time for the latest from the sports world. I'm Bernard Okumu. Let's begin with soccer, where the national football team, Harambee Stars, are intensifying their training ahead of their final 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier, which will be played tomorrow. Now, Stars will be looking forward to finish the qualifiers on a high, despite not finals. The match anticipated clash against the Elephants will be broadcast live on KBC Channel 1 from 10 p.m. Group leaders Ivory Coast are in fine form after thrashing Seychelles 7-0, while second-placed Gabon edged Gambia 4-3 to stay hot on the heels of the leaders before their final match against Burundi.
To go out, we have to create that winning culture, and of course now it's 2 wins back-to-back on the road, two clean sheets. So the mindset, the mentality is definitely to go out and do our best.
Players will prepare well. Na kitu tunaongojea ni game ya Tuesday, we get a good result.
Ni pressure kubwa kwa sababu ni jezi na carry weight sana. Kwa tuna represent millions of Kenyans. Kwa hivyo kwangu ni pressure each time na wear jezi, na kila time utaka ninapeana my best.
And moving on, Makueni County is set to make a major leap in youth empowerment and sports development thanks to a new international talent academy being established under the Empower Champions Talent Academy initiative. Now the project promises to transform lives, nurture talent, and even contribute to climate action.
A bright future is on the horizon for young people in Makueni County. The launch of the Empower Champions Talent Academy, youths in sports, education, and environmental sustainability. Speaking during the launch of a and Kitise Primary Schools, ECTA representative Walter Omwenga highlighted the to bridge critical gaps in youth talent development.
We are trying to grow Makueni, not in terms of sports only, because for Empower Champions Talent Academy, it's more of empowering the youth in terms of sports, arts, for those who sing, for those who dance. That is part of the academy.
Tumekuja tukatrainiwa and we are still expecting for more. We hope that they will sponsor us to Ndembali and we want to go to a national school.
The academy will serve as a central hub for sporting excellence across all disciplines, placing Makueni County for talent development.
Tuna hope ya kwamba itaenda kutusaidia kwa kina ku tap talent zenye zimekuwa azitokee huko majuu kuonekana, iposa wakaweze kujulikana na tupate wachezaji wazuri katika kila nyanja za michezo.
But the vision doesn't stop at sport. The event also marked the beginning of a climatic mitigation initiative with a tree planting drive led by ECTA CEO Engineer Masi Jerop.
Tangu hawa wageni wetu waje ambao wana support hii mpango ya mipira na mambo ya uwanjani, tumepata mipira kwanza ya kila aina katika football, katika basketball, katika volleyball. Tumepata mipira mpya na tulikuwa na tatizo, hata tulikuwa na mipira ambayo ilikuwa katika hali duni, lakini tuko na mipira mpya.
With its holistic approach, the Empower Champions Talent Academy is poised to not only nurture champions on the field, but also inspire sports. Makueni County, a model for the rest of the nation.
In a span of 1 year, our dream is to grade all the fields in Makueni County, start programs in all the fields in Makueni County, and that one will form the base of our academy, Empower Champions Talent Academy. Because our plan is for 10 years, but in 2 years now we'll have some groundwork starting.
For Prime Edition Sports, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
And away from Makueni to Temeke in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, where Kenya Prisons men's volleyball team is set to lock horns with Chema Volleyball Club in the much anticipated Nyerere Cup 2025 semi-final at the Mwembe Yanga Sports Complex in Temeke, Dar es Salaam. This is after sweeping to victory through the quarterfinals, where Prisons defeated JKT 3-0 and Chema also overpowered High Voltage 3-0. Later, also in the men's semi-final stage, Rukinzo is set to face Serengeti to fight for a spot in the finals. Meanwhile, in the women's competition, Star Girls will face Falcons, while Nyika will face JKT to fight for a spot in the final stage. And across the borders, where the Netherlands thrashed Finland by 4-0 in a World Cup qualifier played last night at the Johan Cruyff Arena in Amsterdam. The Netherlands now tops Group G by 3 points ahead of Poland, who also beat Lithuania 2-0 in Kaunas, Lithuania. In Group C, Denmark ended Greece's hopes of World Cup qualification with a dominant 3-1 win in Copenhagen, while Scotland edged out Belarus in a 2-1 victory. San Marino suffered another heavy...
pulls his foot back.
And that's it from me. Thank you so much for staying with us. Bernard Okumu, but remember, more sports action coming tomorrow. Cote d'Ivoire against Kenya. This is the last qualifier for the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualification, and we hope that the Benny McCarthy side will wind up the campaign on a high and maybe just dim the chances of the Elephants of qualifying to the finals. How about that? Anyway, I'm Bernard Okumu. Let's do this again tomorrow. Have a blessed night.
Bernardo Kochokumu answering one of a few our viewers are much tomorrow, and Bernardo answered that reacting to the one talks together on the varsities, saying how soon mixed reactions. Strike, and you're saying Boni Mchelela, how soon is soon suffering? Well, these are addressing. Thank you so much. Back on our social media platform. Odim, our sign languages for tonight. Good night and God.
Tushinde.com. Cheza safe, cheza smart. Gambling is addictive, not for persons under the age of 18 years.
Sasa kwa star 419 hash uko na game mpya. Tushinde spin corner. Simply spin. Kisha ngoja na kwa entry na hadi mara 3 na ikigonga 25,000 na kufikia instantly. Cheza spin corner sasa hivi kwa star 419 hash option 4.
Tushinde.com. Cheza safe, cheza smart. Gambling is addictive, not for persons under the age of 18 years.
1 point separates the top two.
Michuano ya kufuzu kwa kombe la dunia mwakani 2020.